And it was the one dress that my mum actually teared up when she saw me put it on. We're going to be doing our bridal entrances a little bit differently. Are you stressed? Like, are you finding it stressful planning a wedding? We're not getting married overseas, but we're getting married in... Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be doing a get ready with me today, which I haven't done in literally forever, but I thought today would be a really good opportunity to do my makeup with you guys and just have a big old catch up, because today is a very exciting day. So it's actually our 1-year engagement anniversary today. It has come by so quickly. Like, it doesn't feel like a year ago that we got engaged and that we were even in Europe. Like, this past year has gone by very quickly, and it's so exciting. It's so exciting to be able to celebrate. It also is only 7 months now until the wedding, which is also surreal. Like, time is absolutely flying. It's so true. Like, the older you get, the faster time goes. Like, my mum and dad used to always say that to me when I was younger, but like, I know what they mean. I think there's just like more going on and we're just busier. So I wanted to chat to you all about wedding planning and just have a good old chit chat really in this video while I do my makeup. And I thought it would be a good opportunity to do that because I do want to dress up a little bit tonight. We're going to a fancy restaurant in the city called Woodcut, I believe. And it's at the Crown Hotel, which we love. It's such a bougie hotel. We've stayed there once for my birthday, but there's also a few restaurants at the hotel, and one of them is this one that we're going to, and it's meant to be really nice. Our friends recommended it as well. So yeah, I want to dress up for it, do my makeup, fix this hair. Like, it's a little bit all over the place right now, and figure out what to wear. I have no idea what I want to wear, but I know that I want to dress up. I've got all my makeup in this big toiletries bag I got from Kmart. I find it so much easier just to have my makeup in a toiletries bag and then just pull it out when I'm doing my makeup, instead of having it all like tidied away in containers. You know what I mean? Like, I just like to rummage and have my everyday stuff in one place. And then if I ever want to like reach for a different like lipstick or something, I can go to the bathroom cabinet and get them out of the storage in there. It might have to be a slick hair kind of day because my hair is looking a little bit greasy. I just haven't had time to wash it. Okie dokie, now that that's done, we can get started. I feel like this is a great opportunity to also update you on my makeup routine. I've probably changed up a little bit. I've been loving starting my makeup with primer lately. I never used to do this for some reason, but genuinely, I think if you find a good primer, it can make all the difference. This is the Smashbox Original Photo Finish Smooth and Blur. I might actually mix it with my Drunk Elephant bronzing drops because I've got a bit of old fake tan on. It's looking a little bit blotchy, as you can see on my chest. I just kind of want to fix that up and also match my face to my body. I love the Drunk Elephant bronzing drops, but you definitely have to mix it in with some kind of like moisturizer, primer, or like SPF, otherwise it's like so hard to blend in. So I guess let's just start off with all the wedding updates. I really just want to have a big chit chat with you guys, like you're my friends, and fill you in on everything we've done so far. So I haven't actually said anywhere, I don't think, but we are actually doing a destination wedding. Maybe I have mentioned that, but I don't think I've actually said what we're doing or where we're going. We're not getting married overseas, but we're getting married in Queensland, specifically on the Gold Coast, which I'm so excited about. Braden and I have always had like a soft spot for the Gold Coast. It's somewhere that we've always gone on a holiday together since we first started dating. It was like his family's go-to holiday spot. They used to have an investment property there, and we would go on holiday there every summer, and it's just one of those places that we've always loved. But that wasn't necessarily why we picked that as our like place to get married. So a little backstory, we had done so much research into venues, and we had kind of a specific vision of what we wanted, and we viewed a lot of places in New South Wales, but nowhere really felt like it was the one until we went to this particular place. So I really didn't think it was going to take us so long to find a venue, and I didn't expect to find one in Queensland. I had found a few venues in Queensland that I like the look of, but I was like, well, when are we actually going to be able to go and have a look at them? Like, we're not going to book a venue without actually going and seeing it in person. So I kind of had ruled that out. But then we actually ended up going to Queensland for a family friend's wedding. They got married in Tweed Heads, but we were staying on the Gold Coast, and we're like, oh, well, we might as well go and view some of these venues that we like the look of while we're here. And basically we went to this particular venue and just fell in love. We were like, this has everything we wanted and more. And so we decided to book it, and we're just so happy, couldn't be happier with where we're getting married. And because of that, it means that we're going to be doing a little bit of a destination wedding. Either way, we wanted to do something away from Sydney, but going to Queensland from Sydney is definitely a destination for us. And we're going to be going for a week or so before the wedding so we can have a nice little holiday with our family. And as you guys know, I was born in the UK. So like a lot of my family is in the UK other than like my parents and my siblings. And a lot of them are going to be coming over for the wedding, which like makes me so excited. Not all of my family from the UK is coming, which is so fine. I know it's a big ask to ask people to travel to Australia, but some of them are, and I'm just so over the moon that they're coming, and it just feels very special that it's gonna be like a reunion as well as like obviously a big celebration. Sorry if the lighting's just changed. I noticed it was getting a bit dark, so I just got my ring light. Anyway, I'm gonna go in with some skin tint now. This is the Estee Lauder skin tint. Love this stuff. It feels very lightweight. I'm just using the little dropper to put it around my face, and then I'm just blending it in using this little sponge. So I guess that's a big update, the fact that we're getting married in Queensland. I wasn't sure when or if I was going to share that, to be honest, publicly until the time came to it, because I wanted it to be a surprise. But I just thought, you know what, what's the harm? I want to talk about it and share it with you guys. And also, if any of you are from the Gold Coast, please leave me like any recommendations you have. Like if you have any recommendations for, say, someone to get a spray tan from. I don't have any idea where to go for those kind of things. And also we're trying to decide if we want to do an after party, a welcome dinner, or a recovery thing, because we are asking people to travel for our wedding and I want to make it as fun for us and for everyone. But I also think it's so easy to fall into the trap of feeling like you have to do like everything because you see it on social media. Like a lot of things these days, you know, you get FOMO because you're like, oh my gosh, this person did this, like, should I do that? But I've had to stop myself a few times and ask myself whether that thing that I'm wanting to do is completely necessary, if it's something that aligns with Braden and I, and if it's something in our budget as well, or if I'm just like having FOMO. I think it's so easy to get caught up in everything, but at the end of the day, you've just got to remember like what a wedding is and why you're getting married. And also, whenever I've made a decision in regards to the wedding, I've been just thinking, is this something that aligns with Braden and I as a couple? Like, is this something that kind of represents us, and is this something we would like enjoy as a couple together usually? In terms of like vendors and all of that, I feel like we're pretty much on top of that. As soon as we booked our venue, we were like looking to book all of our vendors straight away. So that's all done. We've got our photographer, videographer, hair, makeup, live music, all of that is sorted. And then in terms of like styling, like we booked our florist, but I think there's not really that much that we need to do. That is one area that I feel like is so easy to get FOMO on, because there's so many amazing things you can do when it comes to styling, but that can definitely bump up the price. I think that's just when you've got to like think about your budget, and if it's something that you can afford, then by all means spend it. But I guess just don't go overboard. I'm saying this like I'm talking to you guys and telling you advice, but I'm also saying it to myself. By the way, for my cream bronzer, I just used this Clinique Chubby Stick in the shade 24. I've had this for a long time. I probably maybe need to get rid of it, but it's just so reliable. And for blush, I'm using this Zoeva Velvet Love Liquid Highlighting Blush, and this is in the shade Pink Nectar. You can just see the shine on that, so pretty. You know what we can talk about? We can talk about the non-traditional things that we're going to be doing at our wedding, because there's definitely a few of them that I can think of. One being, we're having my grandma as our flower girl, which is so cute. I'm so excited about it. We asked her on FaceTime on her birthday and she was so excited. So that is something that I think is going to be really special. Something else that we're thinking about is not doing a cake, because often when I go to weddings, I feel like the cake can be kind of a missed moment, and often you're so full from like the food and dessert already that you don't really feel like having cake. And if you were getting married close to your home, I don't think it would matter, because you could get that cake taken away and you could even pop the cake in your freezer. But because we're getting married in Queensland and we're going to be away, we can't really like take it with us and then eat it gradually, you know? We can't put it in an esky and take it home. So we're kind of thinking, for the sake of saving a bit of money, maybe we won't do a cake and instead we'll replace that moment with a champagne tower, because we are going to do one of them anyway. And I also think a cake can often be almost like a piece of the decor and a piece of the whole aesthetic of the day, but we could maybe just like replace that with a champagne tower. I'm not 100% sure yet though. We still have time obviously to book someone to make a cake, but let me know, like, what you think, if you've done a cake, if you enjoyed having a cake, or if you feel like it's something that like you didn't really need. One thing that I think is cute about having a wedding cake though is the fact that you could like freeze it and then defrost it and eat it on certain occasions. Braden's parents were telling me that's what they did, and they had it on their first wedding anniversary, when they had their first child. I'm like, how long can you freeze cake for? Like, is it still good after that much time? Another thing that's a bit non-traditional, I guess, I've seen more and more people do this, but we're going to be doing our bridal entrances a little bit differently. So what we're thinking is that we're gonna have the girls come in all together and then the boys come in all together, instead of it being like boy, girl, because I just think that's so much more fun, and the girls all know each other, the boys all know each other, and I just think they'll be a whole lot more comfortable, and they can like make a thing out of it. They can actually kind of come up with some kind of idea all together. Whereas if it was just boy, girl entering, I feel like it might not be as fun for them just because they don't know each other as well. So I want to make the bridal party feel as comfortable as possible, and I just think it could be hilarious seeing the boys all come in together. I feel like they could definitely do something funny, and the girls could do the same. Like, I don't know what they want to do, but I've seen people like choreograph routines and things like that, but it's totally up to them. I'm sure there's so many more non-traditional things that we're doing, but I just can't think of them now. But I can think of some of the traditional things that we're doing as well, because I would say that we are doing more traditional stuff than non-traditional. I think Braden and I as people are a little bit traditional. For example, I don't think we're going to do a first look. I know that's really, really common these days. It's really smart, honestly, to do one, because that way you get photos, just you two, before the wedding ceremony. And I know like there's just so many photos that you want to get, and it's rare to have a moment just you two on the day. I have heard that. But at the same time, both Braden and I have always imagined seeing each other for the first time when we're walking down the aisle. And even though a lot of people say it doesn't take away from that moment, I like the idea of building up the anticipation. And yeah, I like the idea of waiting, I think. For my eyebrows, I just use the Benefit Gimme Brow in the shade 2.5. I've used this for literally years. For the brow gel, I use the Anastasia Brow Freeze Gel, which is also really good. I think for my eyeshadow, I'm just gonna blend a little bit of my bronzer in my crease. Another thing that we're gonna do is public vows, we think. By the way, I'm saying all of this, but we're still 7 months away, so I might change my mind on some of these things. We like the idea of saying our vows publicly. I think it's kind of scary and obviously nerve-wracking, but it just makes it all the more real. And I like the idea of making that commitment in front of our friends and family, and for them to like witness that moment, to hear the things that we're saying as well. I think it's a really special moment. I also think we're gonna write our own vows. I definitely am a words of affirmation kind of person. So is Braden. Like, I wouldn't say it's his main love language, but I think we both will write our own. I'd like to do that anyway. Actually, going back to like the non-traditional things, one thing I've heard people talk about and suggest is doing a first touch instead of a first look. And I actually like the sound of that. So the idea is that you get together and like you don't see each other, but you say stand back to back, and you can like hold hands, and then you hand each other a letter, and it's basically words of encouragement for the day, which I think is really sweet. I don't know if we're gonna do that either though, because I think we still like the idea of like really building up the anticipation. But how sweet is that? I just thought of another non-traditional thing. So we're thinking that we might do a sweetheart table. When we went to view our venue, they actually had the reception set up with a sweetheart table, and I loved the way it looked, first of all, but I also thought, again, it's a moment that it can just be me and Braden, and I think that we'll just really appreciate our past selves for thinking about that, because I know even from our engagement party, like it's hard in occasions like that to have moments just you two, because even though it's your wedding, I feel like you still end up being so busy and talking to your guests and everything, which you obviously want to do, but it's also important to make sure you spend time with your partner, because that's the whole point of having a wedding. So we thought a sweetheart table would be a great way for us to be able to have some time, just us two. And yeah, I've already come up with the seating arrangement and everything for everyone else, and it seems to work really well. So little tip for you guys, if you're planning a wedding and you aren't sure about how you're gonna have time with your partner, maybe do a sweetheart table. And also I think it's a cheaper way of doing your florals and repurposing your florals, because if we had a bridal table, which is obviously the big focal point of the wedding reception, you kind of have to dress up that table, and we have 4 bridesmaids and 4 groomsmen, so there'd be a lot of us sitting there. It would be quite a long table, and I just think that it would require a lot of florals, a lot of dressing up, whereas if we just have a table which is just us two, we don't need to do too much of that, which definitely saves us money. We will be for sure repurposing the florals from our ceremony anyway. That is something that is like such a good tip if you didn't think of that. I think most people, most florists would probably recommend that these days, but you can often just use the florals in your ceremony, in your reception, and yeah, so much easier. Back to the traditional things, we're gonna spend the night apart. That's something that we both also want to do. So the night before the wedding, Braden is gonna stay with his family in their hotel room, and I'm gonna stay with my family in my hotel room. And we decided to do that instead of staying with our bridal party, just because our bridal party is gonna be coming away with their partners, and not all of the partners and stuff are in the bridal party, and we didn't want to be selfish and make them split up and have to think about staying at 2 different places. And so we thought, you know what, we'll just stay with our family, and then our bridal party can stay with their friends or boyfriends and girlfriends. The mascara I just used was the Benefit Bad Girl Bang. So good as usual. I love that I haven't even got any like questions from you guys, and I'm just rambling at you like you've asked me these things, so I hope this is interesting for you. But I just think it'll be fun to watch back in general as well, and just like remember the whole process. A lot of people ask actually when I just see friends and stuff, like, oh, are you stressed? Like, are you finding it stressful planning a wedding? And honestly, like, not really. I don't know if maybe the stress is yet to come, but I think that we've paced ourselves out pretty well. I think that's the biggest piece of advice I'd have. Like, if you are planning a wedding, start early, and once you've got your venue, start booking in your vendors. Don't leave everything till last minute, because that way you can just enjoy the process so much more. Like, being engaged is meant to be a fun time in general as well. It's like not something you just want to rush. You want to soak up that time. So one thing that we're doing actually to try and like enjoy the time of being engaged is having monthly date nights around the time of our wedding date, if that makes sense. So like once a month in the lead up to our wedding, we're doing a date night where we can kind of like mark the milestone towards the wedding. So I guess tonight's kind of that date night for us. We're gonna celebrate the engagement and also the fact that we're 7 months away from the wedding. I just popped on some Charlotte Tilbury bronzer. This is the airbrush bronzer, and a little bit of blush. Am I like going crazy? Did I use this or that? I literally can't remember what blush I just put on my face. It was one of these. Well, this is the Laura Mercier Rose Blush, and then this is the Ciate Doll Face Blush. I just got this setting spray from Kmart. It's their Sparkling Rose Soft Focus Setting Spray. It smells really refreshing, and I really like it. So before I pop lip liner on, I'm going to use the Benetint just to use as a lip stain. I've been really liking doing this because sometimes when your lipstick rubs off, then you still got a bit of a tint underneath. But I put it on before the lip liner because I found that if I put lip liner on and then do this, it just like rubs off the lip liner. Now for lip liner, I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude Lip Liner. Okay, also, I think we should talk about the dress, because I don't think I've mentioned anywhere on YouTube that I have found my dress. Found it a couple of months ago. I'm not gonna lie, it does feel like a bit of a relief now that I've found my dress though, because I wasn't sure how long it was gonna take, because we went to I think 6 bridal stores, and I felt like that was quite a lot. Like, it is a big day out to, you know, go dress shopping. And so I was like, oh, I really hope I manage to find it soon. Even though it's enjoyable and you want to enjoy the process of dress shopping, I also felt like pressure to find something quickly, because they say that you need to allow like 10 to 12 months to have your dress ordered in. And I'm not even getting like a custom dress made or anything like that. Like, I'm just having the dress ordered in, and they're like, yeah, you need like 10 to 12 months often. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm cutting it fine. And I felt like a lot of pressure to find a dress. But I found one that I absolutely love, and it was the one dress that my mum actually teared up when she saw me put it on. So I kind of knew at that point, I was like, well, surely this is the one. And it's funny, when I went to this particular bridal store, I went there because I'd seen a dress that I liked the look of from a particular designer, and like they were one of the only places that stocked the designer, and I was like, okay, well, you know, it's worth checking out this particular dress. Like I'd seen photos online and it looked really nice. So I tried on that dress, absolutely loved it, but my mum went on the website and she actually found this other dress and she was like, I feel like you should try this on. And when I got there and tried on that dress that my mum recommended, it was just a bit more of a wow moment for me. Like, it was funny because I didn't expect that, because I wasn't the one to pick that dress, it was my mum. But when I put it on, I was like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, this is the one. I'm just gonna blend in the lip liner with my finger a little bit. That's my story on how I chose my dress. My sister and Jessie were also there. It wasn't on the day as well that I filmed trying on dresses. I didn't actually film going to this particular store at all, which is kind of special. I just can't wait till I can try it on again. Like, oh. The weird thing about dress shopping is that you can't wear like fake tan, and you have to wear kind of like minimal makeup and stuff. So you're not like dressed up. And so you don't really get like a full visualization of what the dress is gonna look like on your wedding day, which I think is quite a nice surprise actually, because I'm like, if I like the dress when I don't feel my very best, then like I'll probably love it even more when I have my hair and makeup done and all of that, which is something I need to decide on actually. I have no idea what I want to do for my hair and makeup, but I'm gonna get a trial. We're gonna book a trip at some point to the Gold Coast, probably either at the end of this year or the start of next year, and I want to get my trials done then, and we've just got a bunch of things to do. Like we need to go visit our venue. I want to do like a food tasting, which they probably won't let us do until a few months before the wedding anyway, because I know they change their menu like seasonally. And it would also just be nice to go to the Gold Coast beforehand and meet all of our vendors, like especially our celebrant. I think that's really important to kind of have a bit of a relationship with them, because they're the one literally telling your story and you want to make sure you vibe with them. So yeah, we're gonna do that at some point, which will be a nice little holiday. I think we'll probably only go for a weekend or something, because we are just trying to save money at the moment to save up for the wedding. So we're not really doing any holidays up until whenever we go on our honeymoon. So for my gloss, I just used this Nude Sticks lip butter. I love this so much. This is their Dolce Nude shade, and it's so glossy. It's got peptides in it, and it kind of like tingles your lips and makes them kind of a bit more plump. Really like it. But that's my makeup. Now I think I'm gonna try and figure out what I'm gonna wear first, so then I can decide what to do with my hair. Okay, so this is option one. It's this beautiful black and white dress from White Fox. Love it a lot, but I'm just not sure if I wanna wear something fitted or not. I don't know. This is what I instinctively thought to wear, so let's be honest, I'll probably end up going back to wearing this, but I'll try on a few outfits as well. But this is option one. By the way, this isn't sponsored by White Fox, but if any of you want to use my discount code to save a bit of money, it's just WFLR. Honestly, most of my outfits and my wardrobe is from White Fox, so I think everything I'm going to show you is from there. So if you want to save 15% off, definitely use that code. But this is the black and white number. This is option number two, which I love, but I'm just worried that I'm going to be a bit cold. That's my only thought. Maybe I can bring like a blazer or something. Like I need a jacket, but like how beautiful. And this is my last option. It needs a little bit of an iron at the top here. There's a bit of a crease, but this dress is so cute. It's this A-line little red dress. I think it's so pretty, but again, I'm worried I'm gonna be cold, so I think I'm gonna wear the long one. For my jewelry, I'm just wearing my gold earrings that I wear all the time. They're from The Iconic. I'll write on the screen what the actual brand's called, because I do get a lot of questions about these, and I also have been getting a lot of questions about this necklace that I've been wearing recently. It has an E and a B on it. It's from Camille and Stone. I believe it was a gift from my friend Jess for my birthday, and I think it's so cute. I wear it all the time now. And yeah, so that's my earrings and necklace. And then for my bracelet, I've got this dupe of the Cartier bangle. It's from White Box. It doesn't involve a key, and it's not $10,000, but I think it's great. Jessie was telling me about this. She was like, oh my gosh, like it's so good. And she's had people ask if it's the real thing. And I was like, well, okay, I need to get that. Yeah, it just clips on like that, and so cute. So if you want to get yourself some jewelry but not spend $10,000, White Fox, thank you. Okay, so now that I know what dress I'm wearing, I've got to have a think about what I want to do with my hair. I'm really tempted to just slick it back. I think I'm just going to stick to a slick bun after all that. So I like to use this Day 3-in-1 styling cream for my slick buns. It smells really nice. And even though my hair is already a little bit greasy, it just like adds a little bit more of something. Push that through my hair. Now I'm just combing my hair back. I personally like to do my slick buns on the lower side because I find that it's really hard to get these baby hairs up in the slick bun otherwise, and it drives me crazy when they hang out. So that is that, and I'm gonna do a bun. And then I change up how I do my bun depending on the day. Sometimes I will just twist it like I'm doing right now, and that will sometimes work. Or if that's not working great, I'll plait my ponytail and then twist it into a bun. Just whatever I'm feeling, really. I don't have too much time to mess about now because I've got to go. This is the makeup, and you guys have seen the outfit. For fragrance, I'm just using this Dossier perfume. It's called Ambery Vanilla. It's a dupe of the YSL Black Opium. It's very, very good. And this is the finished look. I'm ready to get going. I've just popped on a little black bag from Status Anxiety and some black heels from White Box. I feel like this outfit was a good choice in the end. I really like it, so let's go to dinner.